When something is made by gamers and for gamers, it usually comes with bright accents, RGB lighting, beefy specs over form and function, lots of bells and whistles. And then Razer came out with their take on a plug-and-play super powerful Ultrabook plus accessories idea. What's going on, everybody? Mala here, and this is the Razer Blade Stealth.
Regarding aptitude, you are an absolutely unique amalgamation of attributes. Now it's time to find out in which you excel. What makes you S.P.E.C.I.A.L? You're special, you're special, you're special. Oh, so special! S.P.E.C.I.A.L spells out that you're quite swell. Strength.
I know it's not exactly super new, but I don't know many people who have even seen one. And to me, this machine is impressive on a lot of levels. It's a super slim all aluminum, it's a super slim anodized black stealthy looking aluminum build, pretty much no flex anywhere, premium quality finish and touches from all angles, super sleek and light build. To be fair, the hinge itself isn't made out of aluminum, but the construction just oozes quality. This lineup from Razer kind of became the hallmark of good looking and premiumly built Windows laptops. But I digress. Back to the hinge. Despite the Stealth being this tiny, it's a solid one-handed operating hinge, which is awesome. Oh, and it's worth noting that the black finish is gorgeous both to your eyeballs and your fingerprints. So if it bothers you that much, slap a skin on it and you're good. The Stealth packs a nice 2-megapixel camera, 2 USB-A 3.0 ports, a full HDMI 2.0 port, a combo headphone and microphone 3.5mm jack, inbuilt microphones, and a USB Type-C Thunderbolt 3 port that's responsible for charging and interfacing with external Thunderbolt and USB-C accessories. Okay, so this is how the webcam and the microphone on the Razer Blade Stealth actually look and sound like. It's not exactly winning any awards compared to, external USB microphones or cameras, but it's definitely good enough, and I think it's better than what you'd find on other Ultrabooks out there, especially Windows ones. You can basically take the Stealth anywhere with you and you'll probably never have an issue with plugging whatever it is you need to plug it to, unless it's a memory card, but there are cheap adapters for that, so... The power brick is pretty compact, with braided cables to added toughness. The keyboard is nice, with anti-ghosting, and that will allow you to press more keys than you should be able to type on at the same time anyway, and it will register everything. Plus, it's got chroma lighting, with 1 gazillion colors that can be customized for each individual key to your heart's content. It looks stunning, but I'd said it's nice and not great, because despite being close to the Blade 14s, I feel like it's a bit less clicky, and the travel distance seems a bit weird for my typing preferences. It's not bad, and I prefer it over the latest MacBook Pros, but I feel the Blade 14 is better. The trackpad turns that around, because I actually like the Stealths more than the Blade 14. Nothing due to the surface, precision, or the size, but mainly because of the physical buttons that doesn't exist on the Stealth anymore. They used to, and they still do on the Blade 14, and I just think that this setup is better. Now, the speakers are not superb, but they are surprisingly loud, but if it wasn't for the new MacBook Pros having outstanding speakers for their size, I wouldn't even bother going into more detail like they're okay, but since we're already here, Alright, moving on. The panel is bright, absolutely no viewing angle problems whatsoever, looks sharp as hell, well 4K and all that, and colors look stunning. It's not winning any prizes, but I think it's a less appreciated feature than it should be, despite the big bezels. Sure, go side by side with an XPS 13 and it won't feel great, but it looks really beautiful, and as you're using it, the bezels kind of melt away. But the screen on the Stealth is apparently attached to the rest of the hardware, because if you want a QHD non-touch screen because you don't feel like you need a 4K panel, you're also stuck with the entry-level hardware, which is a Core i5-7200U, 8 gigs of DDR3 RAM, and 128 gigs M.2 NVMe SSD. Not exactly a bad set of hardware, aside from the 128 gigs of storage, but external drives are there for that, right? Especially since this entry model is $899, $100 cheaper than the previous one. If you wish to upgrade everything, there are two other options, both with full 4K IXO touchscreen panels, both with i7-7500U dual-core processors, 16 gigs of DDR3 RAM, and a 512 gig SSD for $1449, or a 1TB SSD for $1849. This model here is the entry-level 4K one, quote-unquote, with 512 gigs of storage. And to my surprise, the battery I've gotten out of testing this one was somewhere north of 7.5 hours, pretty close to 8 in fact. With the screen around 250 nits, Wi-Fi on all the time, music playing in the background, the occasional video streams, loads of spreadsheets, Word documents, scrubbing through images, the works. I mean, Razer's website advertises around 9 hours of battery, probably with the least powerful model and the smaller screen resolution, so I'm pretty happy with what I got out of this beast. Consistent and comfortable battery life for all day usage while working, no problem. That's the advantage the 2017 model brings to the table with the new Kaby Lake processors. The slight bump in performance is not likely to be felt during normal usage, but temperatures are lower, the fans kick in less frequently, and that's one of the reasons for the pretty great battery life. Now, since all models are packing onboard graphics with the Intel HD 620, it's no surprise that the performance while gaming or other graphic-intensive applications isn't stellar, but this is not exactly a super inadequate machine if you're okay with some lightweight graphics. To show that, I threw Portal 2 at the native 4K resolution on the main panel and at my 34-inch 3440 by 1440 ultra-wide, and it performed well enough that I sunk a couple of hours just laughing at Wheatley.
The reserve power ran out, so of course the whole relaxation center stops waking up the bloody test subjects. Hold on, this is a bit tricky. And of course, nobody tells me anything. No, why should you tell me anything? Why should I be kept informed? You know, about the life functions of the 10,000 bloody test subjects I'm supposed to be in charge of.
This next test is very dangerous. To help you remain tranquil in the face of almost certain death, smooth jazz will be deployed in 3, 2, 1.
Now, the Blade Pro at its starting $4,000 and the Blade 14 at $1,900 are both very capable of replacing a full desktop solution for people who are looking for portable performance and also want and/or need graphics horsepower. This means that the Stealth, at its $900 entry price, is the only one of the three brothers that can't replace or become the only machine for someone who doesn't necessarily need powerful graphics card all the time, but that also likes to game a little at the end of the day. And this is where the Razer Core comes in. We'll check the Core in more detail in the near future, but the gist of it is an external GPU plug-and-play enclosure announced with the Stealth that through a single Thunderbolt 3 USB Type-C cable can power the laptop and give it access to whatever graphics card you plug in inside via the 40 gigabit per second sideways it can pull. With this, both the Stealth and the Blade 14 get access to graphics upgradability now or down the road. And since the rest of the hardware is already pretty respectable, the Stealth can very well be an all-work machine while on the go and rise up to the challenge for gaming when paired with the Core. An awesome combo for someone looking to replace a desktop setup for something more portable. Of course, the Core was the first of its kind. It's hot swappable, just plug and play, and it looks just as awesome as the Blades. So there's a bit of a premium to be paid at $499. But that's also true for all three laptops anyway. The engineering prowess you need to be able to pull off something like the Stealth, or any of the three for that matter, is nothing short of impressive. And even though I'm not exactly the target demographic for it, after what I've seen, I'm definitely considering the Stealth for upgrading my wife's MacBook Air, overkill attached 4K touchscreen and all. Well, that does it for now. But while we're on the subject, tell me what you guys think on the Ultrabooks like these, and whether or not you think the Razer Core is a good enough answer to the issues it tries to put in check. I think it's a bit more expensive than what I would consider fair, since you have to buy an extra GPU anyway, but it's not totally outlandish. Well, hope you enjoyed. Remember to like, subscribe, and leave any comments or suggestions you may have down below if you feel like it. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.
God damn it, not again.